Cloud. Hola, hola, hola. Bienvenido, bienvenido. How are you? How are you, soldiers? Welcome to your relocation roadmap. This is a webinar that I do currently twice a week. Um, I know that there are women out there like myself, 50 and over, 60 and over, 70 over, 80 and over, who have come to the realization that they may want to live in another country. And so I do these webinars as part of my journey of looking for a place that's going to fit my budget, that's going to fit my lifestyle, that's going to have quality health care, that's going to have quality community, that's going to have the amenities that I like to have where I can walk to places that I want to get to because I do not have a car or a motorcycle or anything like that. I use public transportation, the buses, the taxis that are available, and then I walk many places. A typical day for me. This morning I was up by 5:30. I am part of Sarah's Daughters, which is a clubhouse room where we get up and we pray for our family members, our loved ones. We pray for our country. We pray for our health, our finances, every aspect of life. We just get together. It's supposed to be only 15 minutes but because of so many moderators that join in, sometimes, our little 3 minutes each get us past the 15-minute that we just set aside to just come on and pray for our families. So once I'm done with that, I start my day at 7 with my two neighbors, Ruby and Ellery, and we walk. This morning we got in 3.12 miles of walking, through the city markets, through the main streets. We went to Christiana Park, where they're doing some major reconstruction there. It's like 24 million, I think they said that it's costing to do that renovation there. So we walk through there to see that progress. Some of our streets are getting updated, so that's a beautiful thing. It makes us more walkable and it's more convenient for the people who live here. So after walking, one of the ladies needed to go and get some blood work, so we walked with her to get her blood work done. I'll go back this afternoon and pick up both hers and my results because I've recently secured a physician here who's going to be my regular doctor. And so I had all of my major blood work done, and I'll be picking up the results of that this afternoon. Let's see, during our walk, we stopped and got some coconut water, and I always get the coconut water and I tell him I want one with more meat. And so I'm drinking one of my favorite smoothies along with you guys today. So it's coconut water, the meat of the coconut, a teaspoon of honey, some cayenne pepper, half of a Granny Smith apple, and half of a banana. And it's quite tasty, I must say. So let's see, after that, let's see, and like I said, we went to the market. So that's a typical morning for me. Pray, get up and walk, go to the market. If I need to take care of a little business, I can take care of that because our labs here open up at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's currently 10:34 here in Chapala, Jalisco, Mexico, and it's a beautiful day. It's another beautiful day. Any day above ground is a beautiful day, but it's especially beautiful for me when I can be grateful that I am in good health. I'm of a positive mindset. God's good, and I just appreciate that. So today, where are we going to go? Well, first of all, we're going to be in Mexico today. Our virtual vacation is going to be in the country of Mexico. And I do want to share just a little bit of education about Mexico because, I used to always wonder, why do they say that Mexico is in North America? Because when I think of North America, of course, I think of the United States. But according to what Wikipedia, Mexico is in North America, and that is for like geographical purposes, but historically and politically, um, I want to say that Mexico is in the United States. It borders on the United States, which is north, Guatemala and Belize, which is southeast, and then we have the Pacific Ocean, which is on the west. We have the Caribbean Sea, which is southeast, and then we have the Gulf of Mexico, which is east. So that's where we're located. Statistic purposes say that we're in Central America, but historically and politically, we are considered to be in North America. So we are the United States of Mexico here in Mexico. Mexico is the 13th largest country by land mass, and we are the 10th most populous country in the world with 130 million people in the country of Mexico. Isn't that amazing? And we are like real proud to have a female as our president, Claudia Sheinbaum. So I just wanted to give you that little bit of history about Mexico before using the apps, the tools that we use to research where it is that we're going to vacation today. And today, I want to take you to Zapopan. We may get to Mexico City as well, but which is the capital of Mexico. But Zapopan is where I want to take you today. We went on a little trip the other day. Let me share my screen with you. Share. And let's see. Let's go with this quality of life. Quality of life in Zapopan. Zapopan, Mexico is about 5.7 maybe miles away from Guadalajara, which is the second largest city in the country of Mexico. And I really, really like Guadalajara as a place to visit. That's where I first landed when I came to Mexico, because I was taking the course to become certified as a English teacher, the TEFL program, Teach English as a Foreign Language. That took place in Guadalajara. And while I was there, I visited Zapopan, and it is a beautiful, beautiful little kind of suburb of Guadalajara. There, it's as you can see on the screen, it's saying that it is about 5.7 miles away from Guadalajara. It is, let's look at the index. Now, this is the application of Nombeo. You know, I introduced that last week. Nombeo can tell you, you know, the quality of life. It can tell you property prices, and it can also tell you the cost of living. And there's even, I didn't show it to you last week, I'll show it to you today. There's an estimator that you can use to figure out how much you're going to need to live in Zapopan or any other city that you choose to look up. So let's see. The index of quality life is 156.27, and I love all this green. Purchasing power is moderate. Safety index is moderate at 42.84. The healthcare index is very high. Look at that score, 91.67, very high. Climate index, very high, 93.01. Cost of living index, very low, 38.68. Property price to income ratio is high at 14.87. Traffic commute index is low, excuse me. And the pollution index is low. Now, I know that when I was visiting Zapopan, I loved the cleanliness of the area. I thought that I'm surprised to see that it's saying that the cost of living is very low, because all of the cars that I saw parked in the homes and the gated communities, I'm like, you got to have a little cheddar to live out here in Zapopan. And so keep in mind, now this is the information that's been given by individuals who have been to Zapopan, but the application says it really needs more information from people. The minimum contributors underlining the selection is 5, and the maximum contributors for the underlining section is 25. So that's not a whole lot of people that have been contributing to this information that's being made available for us. But here are some nearby cities close to Zapopan. You got Guadalajara, you got Tala, you've got Ajijic, you've got Tepatilian de Morelos, you got Tepic, you got Colima. Now, Colima is about 138 miles away, and Colima is more on the Pacific side, is more on the ocean side. It's beautiful, beautiful over there. I had an opportunity to travel over there and really did like it. And then we've got some other cities. I've never been to any of these cities, and to tell you the truth, I've never even seen these cities before using this app. Guadalajara, I can talk about Ajijic, I can talk about the area of Colima. I was only there for 3 days, so I wasn't there that long, but what I did see, the black sand on the ocean, it was a wonderful place for me to go and visit, just to check out the area. So now that is the quality of life. Let's look at some cost of living. Let's look at the cost of living. So I put in some numbers earlier. Let's do, did I do the estimator? Let's do the cost of living. Yes, let's do the estimator. Cost of living estimator. So to calculate your estimated monthly living expenses, you want to base it on the following information. The number of people in your household. For me, that's going to be 2. I'm doing a 2. Currently, I live alone. I shouldn't say I live alone, because I'm in a co-living establishment. Currently, we have 2 people who are living in Casa de Caoba, which is translated as mahogany house. It's myself and my business partner currently, Sonia Faloyan of Mind and Manna. Make sure you check out her YouTube channel. And then we have another lady that will be joining us the beginning of next month, which leaves 1 more unit available in our co-living establishment we have here in Chapala, Jalisco, Mexico. I love it. It's like the Golden Girls on steroids. I'm on the 1st floor. I'm in the 2nd unit, and Sonia and I share a kitchen. On the 2nd floor, it will be a lady coming in, and then whoever is going to be in that 4th unit, they will share a kitchen. On the 3rd level, we have our community area. Sonia has her artist studio up there. We have a major chef's kitchen, a full bathroom on that floor. That's our community area. And then on the 4th level, we have an open mirador where we see the mountain and the lake. I'm telling you, it's like the Golden Girls on steroids. We have community, we have shared expenses. So there's, because we live in our own units, when we need our solitude, we have that. I'm an ambivert. And so I need just as much solitude as I need to have community. And that's where I'm at my best. And so that type of community living is available. If you want to know more about that, DM me, and I can share you more about what it is we're doing here and how co-living is an up and rising opportunity for women who want to move abroad. Now, this is the thing. It's not new. I mean, and it's not difficult. But it is something that you want to research before you jump off into it, because you got personalities that you have to deal with. The living expense, you need to know what it's going to cost you to see if you're a perfect fit. I really advise people, if they're going to do a co-living establishment, that they have some perimeters that they're working within. I did a video with Sonia not too long ago that talks about the 7 principles that you want to consider when establishing your co-living establishment. So I'll make sure that I leave the link to that in the video so that you can check it out. So back to our cost of living estimator. You need to know the number of people in your household, your dining habits. For me, I put that I do it twice a week, but I actually do it a little more than that. But it's right now it's just me here. And when my boyfriend joins me, I'm probably going to be doing more cooking at home. He loves to cook, and I can cook. It's not my favorite place in the house to be, but I do it if that's if that's something that he wants me to do. That's why I like right now where I can just do it when I want to do it. Entertainment spending, I go out probably a couple of times a week, maybe 3 times a week. Comes I don't drink I don't smoke. I probably will have one alcoholic beverage a month. I don't like beer. I do like wine, but I it has to be sweet. I don't like that dry stuff. I don't like that bitter stuff. I'd rather just drink water. So those those things are not going to be costly for me. But for somebody else, it may be. There are some individuals, they have a glass of wine every day, and it's okay. It's just not it's just not what I do. Preferred transportation, I use public transportation and taxis. I do not own a car, and I really don't desire to own a car, but I like having a friend who has a car in cases of emergency. And in cases of long distance, like if we're going to go out of town or something, I would like to have a friend that has a car, and then we can share that expense. But I use taxis a lot. The buses I also use a lot, and it just depends on the time of day, which one I choose to use. But I like people driving me around. I'm not mad at Mrs. Daisy. How often do I take vacations? Probably a couple of times a year. Now, I'll be traveling back to the US next month, and originally I was thinking I was going to stay for 4 months, but we have a major community event that's going to be happening here on Juneteenth, and so I want to be here for that event. So I'm going to go to the US, and then I'm going to see if my boyfriend can swing it to come back with me to experience that for a couple of weeks. I just don't want to miss that event. So that's how much I love it here in Mexico. So I'm willing to do 2 trips instead of just staying the whole 4 months. I'm thinking about going home, but I'm already thinking about coming back home here in Mexico. The other thing that you want to take a look at is your housing arrangement as far as renting or owning. So let me put in here the city. I'm going to put Zapopan. And there it comes right up, Zapopan, Mexico. And it wants, okay. And I am in Chapala. This, of course, is the free version of Nombeo. And let's see here. Cost of living. Let's check this out. What is it going to give us? 2 people. You know what? Let me change this currency to USD instead of Mexican pesos. I want to know what it's going to be in USD. For 2 people, percentage of meals consumed at restaurants. I'll say, yeah, I'm going to say half. I'm going to say half. I'll leave it at 50%. Percentage of restaurant meals that are inexpensive. Almost all of them. I don't eat at I'm going to put it at 80%. 80% of my meals are inexpensive. Coffee outside the home is low because of my membership with the wellness company. It's an online wellness company. I I buy my coffee from them. I don't buy coffee here. Let's see. Frequency of entertainment outside the home, cinema, nightlife. I put high because it's at least twice a week. I mean, I do karaoke, I do Mexican train, and usually I order a meal when I'm out during those things. So total number of cigarettes that I smoked, none. Level of alcohol, I'm going to say low. The only options for food is Asian and Western, so I'm going to keep it at Western. Frequency of a car, I do not use. Frequency of taxi, at least twice a week. That's pretty low. I may use it. I've already used the bus system and the taxi system yesterday. Let's see, public transportation, household members, going to clubs. None. I'm not part of any clubs. You know what? I should take this back. I do have a golf course membership, but it's only 600 pesos a year. So we're talking, I think that's like about $35. Um, let me make sure that I calculate that right. I think it's 600, 30 bucks. 600 pesos is $30.68. I really do love this app. Oh, I don't know how to do this so that you guys can see that really good. But it's a nice app to have where you can calculate pesos into dollars or vice versa. So you want to have that app on your phone. So that would be my membership. Annual vacation at least twice a year, and it's inexpensive because my vacation is usually back and forth um, uh, to the U.S. or to a town around somewhere in Mexico. I've been to San Nicolas, San Miguel. I've been to Colima. I've been to Puerto Vallarta, Zapopan, Guadalajara. Let's see, uh, Jacotepec, which is just up the road. It's really not that far. So my being in Mexico and traveling is pretty inexpensive. I do have Merida on my diva list that I plan on doing fairly soon, and also La Paz. So I will keep you posted on those. Frequency of purchasing clothing and shoes and clothing, I'm going to say moderate. Rent expense is for a 1 bedroom in the city center. No children to put in school, no things there. Select and okay, so let's submit to recalculate. And then it's going to give me what I can expect the cost of living to be for me in Zapopan. So let's see, submit that. Cost of living in Zapopan. Okay, and I want to read this. Utilize this tool to calculate necessary budget adjustments when moving to Zapopan, Mexico. For more details about the prices shown on this page, they tell you to visit the cost of living in Zapopan. And it says your contribution will make a real impact on the data and the quality of data that this app has. So that I want to reiterate that because you need to know that the information that you're being given is based on information that people have put in this system so that we can get an idea of what people are saying is the cost of living. All right, so currencies in USD, those are the values that I put in. So restaurants, inexpensive meals for a month is probably going to cost me around $352 for 2 people. Mid-range, domestic beer. Now, my boyfriend drinks beer, so he'll probably have that. Imported beer, Coke. On occasions, I may have Fanta or a Coke when I'm at the Legion, but I drink more water than anything. And like I said, I'm not spending money on coffee necessarily. Not to say I don't drink coffee on occasions when I'm out. It's just that I don't buy coffee here to that. I'm not one of these people that has to have a Starbucks every morning. That's not me. So going out to the movies, domestic beer, Coke, Pepsi, water, again, those numbers are broken down there for you. Cigarettes, not an issue for me. These are the groceries that I can expect to pay. Let's see, my girl Ruby, she bought a lamb yesterday, and yeah, that's probably about the how much she paid for like a half a rack of lamb. This is talking about ground beef, but I know she bought lamb yesterday. It might have been a little bit more than that, but not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. Let's see here. Drinking at home compared to the restaurants. So let's look at that. Domestic beer, if you're drinking it at home, it's probably going to cost you $3.22. Domestic beer, if you're going out, well, a pint is going to be like $1.71. What was it at home? Domestic beer, oh, half a liter. That was for a half a liter. So let's see, don't have to worry about gasoline or anything like that. Traveling, they've gotten it broken down, how much my taxi rides are. I should I can check out what it actually is, because I do enter my daily expenses into an app, so that I keep track of all of my spending. Medical, daily costs, getting on the taxi cabs when I'm going grocery shopping, everything that I do where I'm doling out uh, money, cash, or if I'm charging something, I put it into this simple app that I use on my phone, so that I can know how much I have spent daily, weekly, monthly, annually. It just helps you to see the numbers. Something I never did when I was younger, but living abroad, um, wanting to make sensible decisions, I now do that, and it's part of my coaching program that I offer individuals who are wanting to do the same thing. You do not have to do this alone, and you want to be around like-minded people so that you can do it effectively. We've got the big 5 F's, or the BFFs, as I call them, that can sometimes put you into a negative mindset. I don't want you to be there. The big 5 F's: friends, family, finances, fallacies, and fears. You don't have to do it alone. You get you a coach, get you a community, decide on what it is that you want to do, and then let's redefine retirement together. You can have a softer, more fulfilling life. Okay. Childcare is not for me. Household supplies, electronics, and different things like that. They've got the number rounded off there. So for me and my significant other, my boyfriend, we could expect, if we wanted to live in Zapopan, Mexico, just outside of Guadalajara, it would cost us about $2,800. $2,827.67 is what they estimate. Now, me being the type of person I am, I would add an additional 500, because the app is already telling me that it's limited information here, as a a baseline of what something may cost. So I want to always err on a positive side. So I would just this is me. This it may be less for you, but for me, I would add an additional 500 um, for my emergency fund. For those unexpected things that may happen, or maybe I just want to do some gift giving. So an extra $500 is what I would add to this $2,827.67 for me, for moi. Okay. But this is Zapopan, Mexico. Now, I don't remember seeing Zapopan on the Earth Awaits. Remember, I said that was another tool that we can use to browse to see how we can make sure that our spending is in alignment with our budget that we have, our lifestyle that we want. But now I'm sure that I can do a search here for Mexico City. So we took a look at Zapopan. Let's see if we can find something in here about Mexico City. All righty, let me make sure that is, yep, this is my account. And we are going to go, let me get rid of these other continents. I'm not going to look at Oceania. At some time in the future, we will look at these others. But right now, I want to stay in South America and North America. Today, we're in North America, Mexico. And let's go with that's kind of high for some people. So let's do 20, 25, 50. That's cool. Family size 2, 1 bedroom, modest, any. I don't know if we're gonna be able to get to Mexico City with that. Let's see. Let's do 3,000. We might be able to, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Let's do 3,000. We're gonna say our budget is 3,000. Let's see what we can get if Mexico City will come up. Okay, so Colombia, Canada, Merida, Regina, Ecuador, Canada, Puerto Vallarta. We have a trip coming up in December to Puerto Vallarta. I'm really excited about that. Mexico, Quito, Guadalajara, del Carmen, Panama City, San Jose, Monterrey, Beto, Guatemala City. I'm not seeing Punta Cana. Ah, here we go, Mexico City. So it did come up. Let's get the details of Mexico City. Okay. Oh, that's pretty. That is pretty. Let's see. Let's look at some of these other pictures. Mexico City. Boy, look at those. Look at that traffic. Woo-wee. Let's see. Some historical places to visit. Not sure. That gives me the number, but it doesn't like tell me what this picture is. Okay. All right, so Mexico City. Let's take a look. Population 12,294,193. Looks like the average bandwidth, 130 for downloads, 48.9 for uploads. Purchasing power, 44.9. Traffic index, 349. Whoa. But thank God it's a walkable source score of 100. It's a walkable score of 100. Woo, pollution is very high. And I can imagine with all those cars and the emissions, I can imagine the pollution being very high. 80. Crime level, high. 67. But quality of health care is high at 66, and they're saying quality of life is only a 36%, or 36 out of 100, I should say. Wow, Mexico City quality of life is low. So what do you think those factors are? We talked about them last week. Education, religion, um, they having access to healthcare, which is there, but 12 million people is a lot of people. I don't know what the land span is of Mexico City, but that's a lot of people. I've not been to Mexico City. One of the reasons being is because of the altitude. Anybody that has told me that they have gone, they have told me that the altitude has caused them to be sick the first couple of days, and then they kind of acclimate to the to that level. It's like almost between 7 and 8,000 feet above sea level. So there's a little mountain sickness that some people experience with Mexico City. But those who love Mexico City love Mexico City. You've got a very active life there. I don't know why the quality of life is only 36 though. According to this app, that's what they're saying, that it's 36%. You got multiple airports that you can go to fly into Mexico City. So that is wonderful. I want to look at this. Let's see here. Okay, what are this? Cost of living. I've not punched on these apps before. So let's see. That's just highlighting it for me to like. If I go here and point on that. Subscribers, oh, the historical stuff is only available when you subscribe, and I have not subscribed yet. And this is notify me of any changes. So if I want to be notified of any changes with the information that's currently provided here, I put that information in, and the app will point that out to me. Okay, so budget. Again, if I want to be able to create, let's see here, a budget for 2 people, modest lifestyle. An apartment is going to cost me about $947 a month. That's a 1-bedroom apartment in the city square or central. If I'm outside that center, it drops down to $584.99, or might as well say $585. 2-bedroom in the center is going to be $1,481. 2 bedrooms outside the city is going to be $911 a month. 3 bedrooms, if you need 3 bedrooms, you're going to be spending about $2,014 a month for an apartment in the city, central. Apartments outside the center drops down to $1,238. Your basic electricity is going to be about $36.91 a month. Your internet about $28. So a total of $1,265 for those costs. Your food, let's see, fresh white bread, $2.64, eggs, $2.47, milk, $1.58, local cheese, about $9.66. Again, this is for 2 people. Domestic beer, imported beer, got the numbers there of $1.61 and $3.24. Coffee, if it's about $3.38. If I'm gonna have at least 10 coffees, cappuccinos on a regular basis, it's $33 a month. Water, almost $10 a month. Sodas, $1.39. Head of lettuce, $1.34. Okay. Food for the month is going to run about $537. Let's see, what else we got going on? Meals for 2 people at a mid-range restaurant is going to be about $55. So if we go out twice a month, we're at $111. And an inexpensive place is about $12. If we do that 4 times in the month, so we're saying once a week, $48.79. Fitness club, about $50 a month. Tennis court, $24. And I find it interesting that a lot of people do play tennis here in Mexico. Let's see, a pair of jeans, about $55. We're talking about Levi's 501. Now we looked at a place, where were we? In Merida? Maybe it was Merida that we were looking at the cost of jeans last 2 weeks ago. And there you could get those same 501 jeans for about $35. So in Mexico, things are going to be a little more expensive. In Mexico City, I should say. So this is going to be $598.08. So the total cost of living, what did we say it was? $2,401.49. And that's living modestly in Mexico City. That's living moderately. Now, remember, I've got to hurry up and go ahead and apply for the membership of here because I think it'll be worth the money. I mean, $6 a month, $48 for the year. I think I will go ahead and do that. Make the research that we're doing here together a little more interesting. But I do want to look at the weather in Mexico City. Let's see if that's not working. Let's see, weather. Oh, okay, here we go. It's a little further down. Let's see, what is the average temperature? And we don't want Celsius, we want to do Fahrenheit for these American viewers. All righty. Average high in April is 81, low 56, and humidity is only 28%. Gotta love that. June, the average high is 75. These are great temperatures. Low is 57, and the average humidity is 48. So it's getting up there to be about close to 50%. In August, the average high is 75. The average low is 57, and an average high humidity is 50%. Not too bad, not too bad. So I think the weather is beautiful in Mexico City. Really nice. And I like because of that high elevation, I can imagine why it wouldn't have a whole lot of humidity. So for some, that would be a plus. Just keep in mind of the altitude. Check it out. See how your body adjust. Individuals with cardiac problems may want to talk to your doctor about, going to Mexico City and get their medical advice as to whether or not it would be a safe place for you to travel. So just keep that in mind. But that is it. That is all I really wanted to travel with you today. So we went to Mexico City and we went to Zapopan, two quite different places. We looked at a budget of a little over $2,000, $2,400 for Mexico City, and a little over 2,000 also for Zapopan. Both of those were for a moderate lifestyle, two people. Okay. I am Savvy D. Jones, and I just love doing these virtual vacations with you twice a week. It is helping me with my research because so I will be traveling to some of these places to bring more information from a personal experience to you. I currently am living in Chapala, Jalisco, Mexico. This is my home. I have 4 years residency that will flip to permanent in 2027, and I'm really happy about that. There are issues that some individuals are experiencing in the U.S. that is making them rethink where they want to call home. And so that's why I share this information with you, so that you can think outside the box, think outside of what you have been told was what you should do, as far as work your fingers to the bone and until you can't hardly live anymore, to just have a sub supreme lifestyle. I don't think that we should settle. I think that we should decide what it is that we want and then design that for ourselves. Stop believing the lie and create what it is that you really want. What is it that you really, really long for? What is it that you want? Not what people expect you to want, not what people tell you you can have. What is it that you want? And then go for it. Go for it. I love the word that says God gives us the power to get wealth. Think outside the box. What is it that you love doing? What is it that you do well that someone would actually pay you for? And you deserve to be compensated for the quality services and products that you provide for others that enhances their lives. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a biblical principle. Until next time, be well, live free, and prosper.